Welcome to the podcast. My name is Mr. Ish. This is a very, very important day. We got a special guest here. We have Miss Elizabeth Lyons. She's not new to the Boys and Girls Club. She's been here before. We're just going to go and ask her some questions. Hopefully we'll get some songs out of her. And we'll learn a little bit about the music business, definitely. Welcome, Miss Lyons.
Hey.
Do I call you Elizabeth, Miss Lyons?
You can call me Elizabeth.
Okay, I'll call you Elizabeth. We also have, you could introduce yourself.
Hi.
We also have a junior here just to ask some questions, so I'm not the only one interviewing. Okay, let's jump right into it, please.
I love it. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about this music business. This, I know you've been here before. How long ago was that, you think?
I think it was like 2-3 years ago. It had to have been probably 3 years ago was the last time I was here.
Okay, I remember you, but I don't remember shooting the video or nothing. But I remember you singing. I remember that. I was like, oh, we got a country star here. That's pretty cool.
Well, it's cool. The last time I was in New York, I was singing at Yankee Stadium, the national anthem.
I did see that. I saw that on YouTube.
I know, which was a dream. I had I have a goal list, like a to-do list that I write. And I have goals on there of things that I want to accomplish. And that was one of the things I wanted to accomplish. And then it became a reality.
Okay, I hope you're a Yankee fan because I think you're from Boston.
I'm from Illinois, Chicago.
Okay,
so I'm actually a Cubs fan, but I became a Yankees fan. It was the playoff games. The crowd was so loud. It was so amazing. The organization, the Yankees, was so good to us. They took care of my whole family. We got a suite. They put us in a suite. Sierra, who's one of my favorite artists, and Russell Wilson was there. And I kept checking their Instagram to see if they had posted about my
pictures about
anthem,
you, so you could take it and put it on your Instagram.
But they didn't.
Some more followers.
It's okay.
We just hosted a big event for the Kips Boys and Girls Club. It was 50 years of us in the Bronx.
I heard that.
And
Congratulations.
We hosted it. Thank you. Let me see if I got a little claps. I'm ready. We had that in Yankee Stadium, and it was awesome. We had a great dinner with a whole bunch of alumni that went to the Kips Boys and Girls Club when they were like 6 years old. Now they're dancers or producers or they played in the NBA and stuff like that. So it was a lot of people that came back just to give to the kids. And it was in Yankee Stadium. We had an awesome time. It's on our YouTube. So if you ever want to see it, it's on Kips Bay Digital Arts. And the kids had a good time too. They performed and all that stuff. It was really nice.
Oh.
And they always treat us great. I mean, I just gave you a quick tour of our two little studios that were donated from Major League Baseball. And that's how you guys get to make your beats. That's how I get to do my podcasting. So, thank you very much, Major League Baseball, and especially the Yankees. They always give to the Kips Boys and Girls Club.
You guys are so lucky. I wish I had that when I was little. That would have been a game changer.
You would have been more of a star than you are now. You still shine.
I think there's definitely some stars in the making in this room right now.
Definitely. What I like is that we don't shy off. Like, if you're 6 years old, we let you, if you want to do music, we let you go into that studio and try.
I love it.
So we don't say, oh, you're 6, you're not ready for this. Wait till you're 12. No. As long as you could walk in this building, you could use everything in this building.
Definitely.
It's for everyone.
That's amazing.
So that's really nice because, everyone feels like they're part of every program, which is very important.
And you're never too early to start, and it's never too late to start.
Never.
You just got to follow your heart.
Let's see. You have any questions? What do you want to talk about to Miss Lyons or Miss Elizabeth?
When I was trying to get some information on Miss Elizabeth Lyons, I saw that when she moved to Nashville at 18, she actually was an intern at a production company. And I was wondering if maybe now that you know that you could have started younger in your music career, if you regret waiting until you're like 18 to try and get an internship.
Yeah, so I moved to Nashville when I was 18. I grew up, I started playing piano when I was 3, when I started reading and learning my letters. And then I was in dance classes. I did hip hop, jazz, ballet, all that good stuff. I did a bunch of musical theater productions. I basically, every opportunity that I had to perform, whether it was doing all that or even just getting my sisters or my neighbors, and we put on a show in our backyard, and we charged $1 and make sure everyone comes, and sold popcorn and stuff like that. That's what we did. And or even if it was just dancing in my parents' living room, for me, it was the Spice Girls or Britney Spears or Dixie Chicks or
I remember the Spice Girls.
Shania Twain. And so I just always loved music. It made me really happy. And especially when I was going through hard times at school, like if I was feeling like not included or not at a sleepover or a party, like I would just turn to the piano and turn to music. I moved down to Nashville to be on the business side of the industry because honestly, I didn't know anyone that had made it as an artist in the community I grew up in. And everyone was like, well, how are you going to make a living off of being an artist or a singer-songwriter? You should go on the business side of the industry. So that's what I did. I went and interned at a music publishing company, which basically works with songwriters and artists, and they write songs, and there's a room where everyone goes and they just write songs together. And so I worked at the front desk. I took out the trash. I loaded the fridge.
Everything you could.
Everything that you could. I sat at the front desk and brought people to meetings. I listened to songs every day, all day that songwriters would submit. I'd make CDs at the time for artists.
You were pressing CDs
yeah,
also.
so a lot of the songs that you guys hear on the radio, more and more artists are now writing their own songs. But a lot of the songs you're hearing, there's also probably 3 to 4 songwriters that are on the song that wrote it with the artist, or there's songs that artists just outside cut. So we would send songs to artists that songwriters had written, and I'd go and get in my car and drop off the CD at the label. And through that process, I, gained the confidence and learned that I think I can do this as an artist, which was always in my heart. And my boss was a really cool mentor of mine. He would give me one task a week. So the first week was write a song. The second week was find a co-writer and write a song. The third week, exactly. The third week was go sing that song at an open mic in front of a crowd. The fourth week was, go record this song, find a producer, go record the song, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that process of him being there and being that mentor for me, I've been so lucky to have a bunch of mentors, and but I wouldn't be where I am without them. I also, Florida Georgia Line is one of I saw them perform for 10 people in a room, like at a bar. And my boss, Denny Carr, had told me to go to see them. And he was like, let me know what you think. I loved their song. A few weeks later, I saw they were playing an opening slot for this festival in Minnesota called We Fest. Told my sister, my cousins, and my aunt and my mom to go. A few weeks later, the song became a huge song, a huge hit. Saw it take off before my eyes, and it's now the highest selling country music song of all time.
And you were there from the beginning.
And I was there from the beginning. And because of that, I think that it made me realize that, oh my gosh, I can do this as an artist. I saw them use social media and how they used word of mouth marketing to catapult them. I mean, obviously there was a lot of other things, SiriusXM picked them up and pushed the song a lot. A lot of different things. They had put in many years into being in the industry. But it was my moment of like having that epiphany of like, oh my God, like I can do this. But in terms of the age, I wish I would have done it earlier. It's a very competitive industry, and there is ageism. And, I'm 28. And so
they might say at 28 you're at the prime of your
you are
recording, and you've lived life a little bit.
I've lived life, and
so you have a little something to sing about. You have good things, bad things.
Yes,
a lot of emotions to go. To put in
and
there.
so I live no regrets. Like I think your path is what it's supposed to be, and there's a reason why you are where you're supposed to be in that moment. And I think as I've gotten older, I've realized that my path has been what it is because that's what it's supposed to be, and that's my story. And so I have no regrets, but I do encourage people to follow their dreams, and that's a message that I always send.
As soon as you can.
As soon as you can, but also like staying in school. Like I stayed in school. I graduated from college. I remember there was a period of time I wanted to drop out of school. And my parents were like, you're not dropping out of school. And it was hard because I was making money. My music was taking off my senior year of college. and I wanted to just go and do music, just music, not have to take
classes or work a side job or
oceanography, Spanish, English, and all these classes. I'm like, why am I taking these classes when I know I'm going to do music and I'm making money at it? But I'm really happy that it's funny, like years past then, I had to get an assistant job and to make, get insurance and
make ends meet.
To make ends meet. And I got that job because I graduated from college. And so
it's a good thing to fall back on.
It is.
If we learned anything today is don't go to college if you can, if that's what you want to do. But you have something to fall back on. But sometimes the music business could chew you up and swallow you. So,
that's for sure.
But you guys, you should definitely learn and take. And I know I've spoken to many of you guys in the past. We have 3 great rooms. We have a good program. We have a lot of good programs that you guys should definitely take advantage of. And we're going to try to help you as much as we can. And as much if we see you every day and we see you excited about coming in and doing things, we're going to be excited also. And if we see that you come in and you don't put that same excitement, maybe the music business is not for you, but maybe you could do something else behind the scenes. Maybe you could be, a producer. Maybe you could do something different that's just not singing or making a beat or something like that. Over here, you definitely have a double threat. Because she could write, and she makes her own beats and stuff like that. That's why she's up here, because she really wants to take a lot of information and process it so that you could take a step further. And I told her this social media and promoting yourself. And I know that you promote yourself. You're your own boss. You're your own, you book your own gigs.
Yep.
When we spoke to you, it was one-on-one. We didn't have to speak to someone else.
Exactly.
We spoke to Miss Lyons. It was her phone call, and she picked up the phone, and we knew exactly what she wanted and why she wanted to be here. So it makes it much easier. There's no middleman with you. You're your own boss.
Exactly.
We learned that quickly.
And I think that there's a power in that too, and in that I encourage you. Like, I went to a big public high school. I had 1,200 kids per grade.
Wow, that's
a lot. So I think if you want to do the artist thing and you want to get into that, I used that market. I started off in my hometown, and I asked all of my friends, and they were in college at the time, so they were at colleges across the country. And I was like, hey, can you post on Facebook? And I'd ask them, like, I'd text them one-on-one, like, hey, can you post this on Facebook? Or, hey, can you send this to your club that you're the group, thread, or your sorority feed, or your frat feed? Or I knew some guys who played in the NFL or NHL, and I was like, hey, you have a few thousand followers. Can you post on your Twitter? And just kind of asking people for those favors of and starting off in your hometown and then expanding it out. For me, it was the Midwest. Then I went to play in Iowa and Minnesota and Wisconsin. And because I had family there too, it was like all my cousins. Tap into the people that you know and ask them. Or if your church, is wanting to needs some music or something, be like, hey, I want to come play at my church, at the church, or there's a local community thing. Any exposure is good, and don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
And I think that's applicable to any job that you want to be, is to just don't be afraid to ask.
Okay, I guess I'm going to ask you right now. When we finish with the podcast, could you please put it on your Facebook, on your Twitter,
yes,
on your Instagram? I'm saying it in front of a whole bunch of people, but I'm just going to ask right now too.
Oh, exactly.
So that we could share it. Yeah,
exactly.
I need some hits. I need some likes and all that stuff too. I'm trying to do something nice for you guys.
Yeah, this is so great what you're doing. We're definitely
going to share. This is a new program. We do the podcast, and we just recently started, but a lot of kids are driven to it. I just give them a avenue just to talk about anything. So sometimes they go in there and we're talking about, my mom, and she's always telling me to do this and clean my room. And sometimes it's about music. Sometimes it's about history. Sometimes it's about current events that are happening with the president or whatever.
Right.
So, they have an opportunity just to go in there and just talk for free.
Yeah.
And someone that could give them some answers. I can't answer everything, but at least I'll hear them out. So this is very exciting.
There's so much you can do in the music business too, or the media arts. There's so many people behind the scenes. It's not just the artists, it's the producers, the managers, the agents, the publicists, the PR, radio. Just at one radio station, there's a social media person, there's a guy editing sound. There's the guy who's talking to the microphone. There's the guy selling the advertisements to, put on air. There's a guy who picks out all the songs that are going to be played. There's so many things that go into, I could go on forever.
I know I have one question for you that I definitely wanted the kids to hear. I was trying to talk to them about controlling as much as they can of their career and different aspects of it. So I know that you control a lot of your career.
Yes.
I know it's a lot. It must be a lot of sleepless nights, let's say. But at the end of the night, you could go to sleep and be like, I did this, I did that. I know that the choice that I made was what I wanted to. Someone didn't push me in this direction. This is the artist I want to be. This is how I want to have my music distributed. This is the let's say a festival I really, really want to be in, and it might be less money, but you really want to be,
exactly.
you really want to work with those particular artists. So I was trying to explain to them, it's very important to control as much as you can. I mean, financially is great also because you don't have to pay other people, but control as much as you can because in the long run, you're the one that's performing and the music is your music, so the other people have to appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, even before, I know Taylor Swift talks a lot about this, about like owning your music. I've owned all of my music from the very beginning, and I've turned down, publishing deals in the beginning because I wanted to own all of my music, because then you have the control over where your music goes. Oftentimes, if you sign a publishing deal, those songs you won't be able to have access to those songs unless you buy yourself out of the contract that you are in with the publishing company.
So now you got to pay somebody else.
So then you have to pay someone else
to share it with somebody else.
So you don't have control over those songs. Where like if I write a song, I can then go do whatever I want to do with it, whether it's putting it up online or it being put in a brand, like a social media ad, or getting brand partnerships to use the song. Like right now, there's a wine company that wants to use one of my songs, right? And so it's like trying to also figure out ways to make money outside of just Spotify and Apple Music and all those things, because you're not making as much with streaming, as previously when people were buying music. It's just a change. It's changed. And so with change, you have to evolve. But yeah, I mean, I am a songwriter. I sing. I write all my songs. I book co-writes with other songwriters. So let's say Angel and someone else say, what's your name? Rebecca, you guys are friends, and you're like, let's write a song together. So you get into a room, I bring the lyrics, and then, Angel plays the guitar chord or whatever, and then we write a song. And then I go find a producer to record that song and say then, okay, I'm going to ask, what's your name? What is it? Dustin. I asked Dustin, hey, can you produce this song, right? And then Dustin produces the song. Then I send it to all my friends. I'm like, what do you think of this song? And just ask my community of people, what's the vibe on this song? Do you like this song? Or is this song terrible? And usually my sister is the most honest one. She's like, oh, that song's terrible. And then I move on and I keep writing, right? And then I start thinking about, once I find a song, we take photos, and I think about how I want the imagery to come across. The music industry has become an audio-visual industry, so you got to find a photographer. So I posted on Facebook or Instagram, I'm like, who do you guys think is a great photographer? And then have that friend take the photos, and then I learned how to put, Photoshop, and how to, make the album art, and then distribute the music through TuneCore, and then you figure out a plan of when you're going to release the song. It has to be somewhat planned though, right? Like thinking about when's the best time to release, when are maybe booking some shows after the release so you can...
So you're still hot.
Yeah, so you're still continuing, like every show that you go to, you're like, oh, buy this song, or go check it out, or go follow me on social media. And thinking smart about planning about that, right? And then I book PR, so I reach out to People Magazine. Have you heard of that? So I recently got an article in People Magazine, and that happened after 5 years of me trying to constantly just hit them up and email them and be like, hey, I'm Elizabeth Lyons.
I'm here.
Here's my song. And just not, I always say, having patience, perseverance, and persistence of just keeping going and booking shows. last year I opened up for Luke Bryan at Lake Shake Music Festival in Chicago. It was 50,000 people. And I had tried for, I think, 4 years to try to make that happen. Met someone at a party, and I was like, hey, helped me get connected to the guy, and then I ended up booking the show. And so how I booked Yankee Stadium was I was playing a show, and the head of marketing department for the Yankees was there, and she's like, we'd love to have you. And you don't know in life who's in the audience.
That's true.
And that's another reason why you have to always be yourself,
yeah,
but you got to be nice to everyone. And regardless of, I've had people be not very nice to me, but you have to just be the better person and just be like, you know what, I am who I am, and I feel bad for you for being mean, because that's your own issues. You know what I mean?
I always tell people that when, especially maybe when you get a little older, anytime that you go out, like right now we're in this environment, this is a job interview.
Yes.
Somebody could be watching this. You may like the way I do things. She may, my boss, Miss Francesca, might look at me and say, you know what, I didn't know, Ish, that, you know, you could do this. And somebody else in the audience, a lighting guy, a mic guy, a sound person, whoever's around may say, you know, next time I come to New York, I'm going to use you for something. And all of a sudden you're in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. I always say, like, I mean, it's kind of, you know, funny, but everyone's an influencer. You are your brand. Now with social media, from your age right now, you could put your stuff on social media if you wanted to, but you are a representation of who you are. And that's pretty exciting and cool. I mean, it's also terrifying, because everything that you put out there is a picture of who you are and how you want to portray yourself. And yeah.
I don't know if you're European as much as I am, but these guys, just by the show of hands, have I asked you, have you listened to the podcast? Just by the show of hands, because every day, if I see you on a phone or you walking by me, could I have your phone? And I just add them on, subscribe. And, you know, to me, it's just, I need the information out there. I want you guys to feel the energy, the excitement that we have, because you're not in that room all the time. Right. You may be in a different class. So I'm pushing it every single day. Every day I'm pushing it. I work in a school, and I push it to all my teachers too.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing, though. In life, if you want to get something done, you've got to just keep pushing it. I get told no every single day. Every day I get told no. Today I got told no. But then the days that I get told yes, I'm like, yes, let's celebrate. And one of my favorite things is, and when you're told no, like, you can be sad for 1 minute, and then you can, if you are told yes, you can celebrate for 5 minutes. Or, like, I treat myself to, like, a Rice Krispie treat or something. Ooh. You know, like, whatever it is, however you celebrate, like, you know, you do have to celebrate the yeses, because there are a lot of times when you're told no.
That was actually one of my questions. I was going to ask you, how many times has someone closed the door on you, and how do you deal with that? Because I dabble in the music business a little bit, so I know that rejection, you have to have thick skin, because you're going to be rejected a lot. And then you say thank you and just keep on, because one of these days that circle's going to come around and be like, wow, I was in your studio one time and you told me no.
Right.
And now you want to work with me. So, how do you deal with something like that, with the rejection of someone telling you no? How do you go about it?
Well, I think from a young age, like, I didn't make my first musical theater production. So I didn't make the first musical I tried out for. So I tried out again, and then I made it. And then I was in 18 musicals after that. So, but if I just gave up after that first time of auditioning when I was in 3rd grade, I wouldn't have probably been doing musicals. And so it's an example of, like, even if you're told no, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a yes the next time. And for me, like, I think in everything in life, I've always been a fighter, and you just got to fight for it. And you've got to hustle and just not give up, really. I mean, it's so cliche, but just keep fighting or figuring out a way how to
go around it,
figure it out, or find a way to do it in a different way, or think about it, come at it a different approach than you were. But it's hard. I mean, I turn to music when I'm like in a sad space, which is like nice because that always makes me happy. I also talk a lot about my feelings to my mom. And
Mom's a good listener.
and she helps, me kind of get through those times where it's hard. And I've got a great support system of my family, like my cousins and my sisters who I talk to. And we talk about all of our kind of, whether it's like boy problems and relationship problems or just life or job or whatever it may be. So I think having that, people around me that also push me to keep going and to not give up is really important too.
Yeah, we basically, with the members that we have here, sometimes we're the ones that they talk to, which is great because that's what we hear. Sometimes it's family problems, sometimes it's the highs, sometimes I made this song, sometimes it's like I did great in my last exam. Yeah. I'm about to go to college. This is the school I'm thinking about. So we're the ones exciting. We're the ones that get all that information, which is great because I think that it makes us feel so much part of not only the member, but the community. Exactly. We feel that we know what these kids are going through in the neighborhood, which is also very, very good. I know I have a whole bunch of questions for you.
Yeah.
I have another question. Is there any, because I listened to your music for the last 2 weeks, so I got my playlist. I'm set up. I've listened to your music, and I haven't seen any features, but a lot of people don't do features. Is there anyone that you would, dead or alive, that you would love to work with? Personally, I even had some type of musical, if I could know how to play a tune, I would say Prince would be awesome to work with.
Yeah,
because he's such a musical genius. So to me, that would be like, I would love to be in the studio with Prince, just absorbing stuff. So is there someone like that, or it could be, it could be country, or it could be just regular music that?
Well, Taylor Swift is one of my idols. I love that she is an entertainer. She's a songwriter. She is a businesswoman, and I just admire everything that she has accomplished. And one of the reasons that I moved down to Nashville was because I saw that she moved down to Nashville, and she made her dreams happen. And so I think I'd love to do something with her.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, but I also think it'd be fun. I think it would be fun to do, something with like kids too. And maybe we can try to figure something out where you guys sing on one of the songs or something, or I don't know. Like, I think that would be a really cool thing to do. In New Orleans, there's the NOCA Center, New Orleans Center of Creative Arts. I've been talking kind of with them, and they were kind of interested in doing something. But I think that would be cool to do something, a feature with kids. Would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think that definitely will go well.
And I love Dolly Parton too.
That's awesome. I mean, she's one of the few people I do know. There was, I think a lot of the kids might have even forgot that Taylor Swift was a country star because she's so pop.
She's so
but
pop
I mean,
now.
she probably has a good 20 country songs, if maybe even more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah,
probably
she definitely does.
40 or 40.
Yeah, I think I know I had a playlist, and I was like, she did all these songs? I didn't even know she did all these country songs. And that's why sometimes when they have the country awards, I was like, Taylor Swift is on. I was like, Taylor Swift is on country? And she's also in the EMAs and all this stuff. I said, how she's all over the place.
Yeah, she really is.
She's awesome, though. My daughter loves her.
Oh,
anything else?
I do have a question for you. And my question was that, how did you get into country music? Because when I researched you, I found out that you were really into pop, like the Spice Girls, the Backstreet Boys, and those people are not very country. Not so whatsoever.
So it's really cool, and I think that the unique thing about like our generation of like listeners to music is you can listen to everything, and that's kind of how I grew up. I had always, my mom had played the Now CDs. You guys are probably.
Oh no, I still have those.
They're still around.
Yeah.
So
Now
it's all like the
38
top
or something
40 songs
Yeah,
for each year. And so in the car, she'd always be playing that, but she'd also play Madonna and Prince and, and then my dad only let us listen to rock and roll and like 70s music. So I was influenced by like Rolling Stones and Eric Clapton and Earth, Wind and Fire. And then my great-grandfather, he grew up yodeling in a country band in Iowa. And my grandmother grew up on a farm in Illinois. And then, in my mom's side of the family, we have had a farm in our family for 100 years. So in the summers, I would grow up going to Iowa, and we'd spend, like a month out there and just in the country. And so all of my music, if you really listen to it, it's kind of has pieces of all of that. And obviously, I think that in the world of music we live in now, with radio, you still have to be pretty defined into what genre. Like you have to pick a genre that fits.
They have to put you in something in order to make so you could get onto these lists, like iTunes list,
but don't let
stuff
that.
like that.
My advice to you would be, don't let that box I've always
box you in, yeah.
Don't ever let anyone box you in, because as an artist and in life in general, you want to take risks and not be afraid to. Like my music is more country pop, right? So because of probably the influences of me growing up wanting to be a Spice Girl and also in the Dixie Chicks. So it's like, and if you listen to my music, it's kind of like somewhat what's in between.
Which Spice Girl were you? That's the one.
Oh, what do you think? Baby Spice.
Okay, you definitely were not Scary Spice. I know that. No. I used to listen to the Spice Girls too.
I loved Ginger too. Sometimes my friend always wanted to be Baby Spice, so then I would be like Ginger. I'd be like, you can be Baby Spice.
Let me see what else we got around. Oh, I know that I was watching your videos, and you, in one of them, they were like, "Oh, she's the art director." And I was like, "She's carrying props in her video and setting stuff up." I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." I said, "She's not an artist now; she's doing everything." I just wanted to tell the kids. I said, "That's another important part of the music business. It's just the setting up of these videos or being behind the scenes. Those people are just as important, because they have to do the makeup, they have to get the car, they have to get the scenery.
Right.
And a lot of the shots that you have are by the water. They're very pretty.
Thank you.
Very pretty shots. I'm looking at them as like an editor, and I'm looking at them. Oh, I'm like, I like that scene. That must be shot in 4K or something.
Yes,
I'm trying to think what camera she's shooting.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like that, and we're sitting in the studio and we just laughing, and I'm looking at the video in totally different way. The way the light hits the lens and stuff like that. And then I go back and I listen to the song for the second time.
Well, so it's kind of unique actually. So I didn't get accepted into the music program in college. And I also didn't really want to be in the music program because I had studied classical like in high school and stuff like that, and was so over the classical, like learning the classical way of doing things. And so I ended up being a radio, television, film major. And when I transferred to Vanderbilt University, so I went to Wisconsin-Madison for 2 years, caught the Nashville bug, moved down to there after my sophomore year, and I ended up just specializing in film. That was what they had at Vandy. Which, going back to your path and you don't know why things are happening the way that's supposed to, obviously video has become a huge part of the music industry scene. And on a small budget, when it comes to doing videos, I realized the first video I did, I learned how to do everything. And I saw that, okay, I'm going to book the location. So you have to find out where you want the location to be, get the props, figure out what props, what's the storyline of the video.
Do you have to do permits and all that stuff also?
No. I mean, I've never had to do that really.
Because in New York City, if you
New York City, you do have to.
If you bring a camera like this out, you need a permit.
I know, because I actually tried to shoot a video here, and I wanted to do some stuff, and the guy was like, "No, you need permits," and I was like, "Okay, well, we're not going to do that because that's going to get more difficult." Or you just kind of go around.
Yeah, there's ways around it.
There's ways around it.
We call it run and shoot.
Yeah,
because that's the way I do it. I do run and shoot. Oh, you want to shoot where? By Central Park? All right. Well, we're gonna have to shot one time.
Yeah, real fast.
Let's do it real quick.
Yeah. So, and then just finding like if I want like extras to be in it, like I'll ask friends to be in it or post online. And then finding like the videographer to obviously create the video, getting a makeup and hair person, booking that. I mean, it's just kind of like a learning process of how to do things. I use Google a lot. I'm like, how do I do this? Or
you do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You're like your own boss.
I do.
Awesome.
I do everything that's on there. And if you ever have any questions specifically about how to do things, just like let me know, but I was raised like, if you want to do something, do it.
At least be the first one to try.
And exactly. And what's going to happen is you're going to fail, but like, at least you tried.
Yeah.
Or you're going to excel and you're going to learn and you're always going to learn from, everything that you do. And I haven't failed on a shoot ever. I mean, I think that the cool thing about video is like you can create it to be whatever you really want it to be. And I remember the first time I shot on film, the white balance was off. And so I had to think the whole thing, reshoot the whole thing. And, you just go with it and you incorporate that into the video, right? So, yeah.
I find myself sometimes when the white balance just goes off, hey, this is going to be a black and white scene. And it's going to be, I'm going to add a little filter here and that, and I'm going to do a little dream sequence real quick, and I don't want to lose that shot. Okay, thank you for the 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And I move on to something else. Exactly.
And I've also learned, over the time is how do you figure out ways to do a video, the most quickest and effective and, on a budget, too, is doing everything in one location, right? And trying to think about things like that, and trying to shoot 2 videos in one day, so you have all your hair and makeup already done, so you're saving that cost.
Yeah, all you have to do is just change outfits.
Exactly, yeah.
I know. I was telling. I know we shot a video in the summertime. We did a music video with the kids were singing about having the best summer of their life.
Oh.
And we shot the video obviously in this location here throughout the building. We shot it with the kids when they went playing gym or during their lunch break or whatever. We edit the video. We did the song in one day. We wrote the song in one day. We mixed it the next day. We shot the video in one day. In 3 days, we got the video. And we put it on YouTube.
That's amazing.
And that's just planning. That's just, okay, our first shot is going to be the gym. Everybody's in the gym. All right, let's go up there. Put the speaker, boom, 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 shoot that shot. Okay, let's go to the staircase.
Exactly.
Change your shirt, put this shirt on. And just if you do the planning, because this, music videos is also planning. You have to plan A, B, C, and always plan for something that
to go wrong.
Yeah, to go wrong. And
extra charges.
Yeah, you may have a certain look you want, and it just doesn't work for you. The lighting or the clouds or
have
where you
backup plan.
Have the second plan and don't let that stop you, because every minute that you're not filming, someone's getting paid for it.
And you're losing light.
Someone's getting paid for it. I don't even want to bring up prices, but about how much is what's a low budget video? What's the low budget video shoot around?
So it varies. I will do some live video stuff I've gotten for $100 to $200. For a music video, it $2,000 to get a nice, but that's kind of more of the friend rate. But it also could go up to labels are spending probably 30 to 200,000. So it kind of just varies on what your budget is and who you're working with, and it just
how many friends you have.
Exactly. And
the
who's
more
willing,
friends you have, the better.
And who's willing to
take a chance
on you. And but it in terms of all the videos that you've seen for me, I've spent all different price ranges of things. So but I think what's cool is having them maybe throw out the number first would be a good negotiation for you. Is just be like, hey, you throw out the number first.
I think is what I think is going to be.
That way you're not taking too. I mean, I don't know. There's that would be. That's what I've been taught to do with negotiations, is have them throw out the number first, and then
you can work from there.
And then you work from there.
And I guess it's very important that you know a lot, so you can't get fooled by too many people.
Oh yeah, and you'll get fooled, but having good mentors and people around you, is so important. So then you can ask them, is this price ridiculous, or all of that. So.
Did you have a mentor when you were trying to come up with your label?
Yeah, so I've had a ton of mentors, and I still, I just met a new mentor last week I got lunch with. And don't be afraid to, if you, are looking up to someone in the industry, message them. Message them on Instagram, or, people have their emails out online. Just send them a message, and you probably will have to send a message to them 3 or 4 times. And just be like, hey, I'd love to... I really admire what you've done in your career. Would you be willing to hop on the phone for 5 minutes? And I just would love to ask you a few questions about your story and your journey.
And sometimes don't be afraid of doing it for free.
Because I played
as long
a ton of shows for free in the beginning. And
you're in there and you're walking and you're in the area. Something might just bounce right off of you that you don't even know.
And nothing is nothing is free. If it's being thoughtful and strategic about it. So if you're booking a festival and your name's going to be on all their merchandise, you're going to be connected to the radio stations,
radios, all that.
And the TV show, I reach out to the TV programs when I go play shows, using that to your advantage, ability to meet other artists and people at the festivals, that's worth something, right? So even though they may be off not being able to pay the opener, but that's worth a lot to you.
Definitely. Being in the same room and like they say, rubbing elbows and getting the exposure and asking the questions, because sometimes you may just have questions.
You have to make that your time really worth it and make sure that you get every little thing out of it, and make sure that you talk to as many fans and people that know about it.
Oh, I think we have a question from the audience. So
Yay!
Who's our first question from the audience? Who we have?
Hi, I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. What's going on, Jordan?
I have a question for you.
Thank you.
What do you love about being a performer artist?
I love...
Thank you, Jordan.
That is a great question. My favorite part of being an artist and performer is meeting people like you guys, honestly. The amount of people that I've met and the relationships that have come out of it is just so special. And also seeing the power of music and what my song does, if it makes someone happy or makes them get through a hard time, that joy from seeing the reaction and having people message me and being like, thank you so much for writing this. I really connected to it.
You know what I love about music the most is that you might have written a song that was at a downtime in your life or something like that, and I listen to it and it makes me happy. So even though your actual emotion that you put into the song when you were writing, it was like, it's really sad time in my life, something about it makes me happy. And music is like that for all generations and across all the board. We have another question. Okay. Ooh, nice. I like this part.
Hi, my name is Mibelka and I have a question for you. What is the most challenging thing about working in the music industry?
Oh, thank you.
That's a good one, too.
I love your sweatshirt. The Army's cool.
Thank you.
I think the challenging thing is I feel like I was told when I first was starting off, I had some success, and I was told to dye my hair pink. I was told to wear sparkles. I was told to wear cowboy boots. I was told to write songs about partying. I was told to write songs about love. And the reality is I kind of lost myself in all of that, and in people telling me what they thought I should be, rather than just being true to who I am. And I think the hardest thing about being in the music industry is probably just staying really true to who you are and making sure that you never lose sense of your hometown, which made you who you are, your family, and
friends,
yourself.
The ones that support you,
and
too.
the support that you've had. And
the
also...
fans.
Just being who you are, because no one else is like you. So don't let anyone tell you who you should be. You just need to be yourself.
And definitely your fans, the ones that support you, because they're the ones that go to your concerts. They're the ones that buy your singles. They're the ones that get your merch, your T-shirts, and this and that. So those are very important. Also, you have another question?
Hey,
what's going on? They're twins, so that's not.
Oh my goodness,
that's not the same one.
What?
Hi, my name is Jackson. I have a question. How many hours do you practice on a weekly basis?
That's a great question. So it's so funny. I remember my mom used to be like, Elizabeth, you need to practice more. And I really wish I would have practiced more growing up. I think you have to play every single day. Try, even if it's like for 5 to 10 minutes, just go and do it. And that's in anything in life. The amount of hours you put into it are the amount of hours you're going to get out of it. And so you have to do it every day. There's like that 10,000 hour thing. And I think you just got to keep doing it a little bit each day. And I'll make excuses sometimes, like, I don't have the time in the day. But really, you can find the time.
Well, you might not, because you do a lot of things. I think the 27-hour day is made for you.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of things. What instruments do you do play?
I
know we have
piano,
a piano because we have that here.
And then guitar.
Guitar, that's nice. Guitar is cool. I wish I could play that. We have another question.
You can learn on YouTube.
That's true. I try to do it in GarageBand or on Guitar Hero. I thought I was real good in Guitar Hero.
Love Guitar Hero.
Another question? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Journey, and I want to say, who inspired you or to pursue your career in music?
Oh, I would say going back probably Taylor Swift and Florida Georgia Line and Kenny Chesney. But a ton of artists. I've listened to everything. Like, I really listen to everything. Like you said, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Beyonce.
Britney's awesome.
Faith Hill. I recently met her in Nashville and
she's nice too.
Fangirling all over her. I didn't know what to say. I was like, ah. But a lot of different artists and music.
We have another question? All right, let's do it.
Hey.
Hello, my name is Kadeem,
Hey.
and I got a question for you. My question is, what is the most rewarding thing about working in the music industry?
Oh my goodness, being able to do what I love every day, and I think there's ups and downs every day. But if you love what you do and it's in your heart, I think that joy and just following that is really special, and I don't take that for granted at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kadeem. Appreciate it. You have anything more? You have a question? I'm ready to hear some music, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I'm ready to hear some music. Come on, guys. Let's get some questions.
Does he want to ask one? It's
You
soft.
scared? Come on. There's no need to be scared.
It's all good. No need to be shy. It's all good.
Over here. Well, that's my man right there.
Hello,
Hey.
my name is Jaden and I got a question.
Okay.
Do you write your own music? If so, what is your songwriting process?
Ooh,
It's a
that's good
great
one.
question. Yes, I do write my own music, and my songwriting process is different every single time. But I'll give you a little, some examples. So one time I wrote a song based on text messages that I was sending to a guy I was in a relationship with, and I wrote the song based on the text messages. Another time I had a song idea come to me in the shower, and then we wrote it from there. Another time, there's this thing called co-writing. So you write with other songwriters, and I would bring in like lyrics of like a chorus, and I'd be like, hey, like, what do you think about this? And then they start playing guitar or piano, and then I'm like, oh, I like that. That's the vibe I want. Or I tell them, hey, I want it to sound like kind of like these songs or these artists. And then they kind of created that. And then we kind of finished the song out. But each time is really different. I've also had friends that write, they know stuff that I'm going through in my life, and then they write like the chorus, and then they present it to me.
And then you take it from there.
Yeah, or it may just be like, "You go, girl." I say that all the time, and like I'm like, "You go, girl," and then we turned it into a song. And so it's like it just could be just like a phrase that you work off of. But everyone I say can songwrite. Like if you can write, you can songwrite.
I know that one of the songs, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh, champagne? I said, I'm clicking on that one. I said, she's talking about popping bottles and all this. I saw the video and everything. And then when I started researching it, I was like, it's not about champagne. It's about her attitude, her bubbly. She always walks in the room and she's happy and she's bubbly and her friends are all, goofing off and having a good time. So I was like, oh, so it's not really about champagne. But it is about your bubbly attitude. And
It's about living life to the fullest every day. Yeah, and celebrating it.
You have a question?
Hi, my name is Elias, and my
Hey.
question is, what would be your biggest piece of advice to people who would like to pursue the career path?
Oh, wow. I would say my biggest piece of advice is to be confident in who you are and just own it, and know that your path is what it is and what it's supposed to be, and just work really hard and not give up and have patience, perseverance, and persistence, and just go for it. I like that move.
Now they're coming down.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey.
my name is Rebecca. My question for you is, do you ever get performance anxiety?
So it's so funny. I only get performance anxiety when it's in small settings like this. When I sing at Yankee Stadium, I was not nervous at all. I don't know why. I think it's because the adrenaline rush that comes from like singing to so many people, and in a more intimate setting, like if I have to play at Christmas Eve or something in front of my family and friends, I get so nervous, and I don't know why.
It could be also that you really wanted to play in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
And
that's probably
And
true.
once you got there, you were like, "This is it.
Yeah,
I've worked hard for this. So
Exactly.
this is your reward."
Yeah.
Once you got
and
there,
I think
wanted to
once
do
you
it.
get a lot of experience, you don't get as nervous as much. At least for me, like I don't get as nervous as I used to, which is why practicing is so important.
Thank you very much for your question.
Good question. Hey,
My name is Davion, and I got a question.
hey.
Besides singing, what is the second thing that you go to?
Well, I think if I wasn't singing, I'd probably be managing an artist, and I'll probably do that
But you do have your own
someday.
label too. So.
I do, and like I do help a lot of artists right now, like that are just like friends, and kind of help tell them and give them advice on stuff. I'd love to write a book. I think it'd be fun to write a book about kind of my experiences in the music industry, like a Gossip Girl, but for the music industry.
That'd be nice.
So
I can see that on Netflix
yeah,
already.
exactly.
You want me to shoot something for you?
Yeah, I know, right? That'd be the goal.
I can see it on Netflix.
So yeah, that would be my
Thank you.
Hey.
Hello, my name is Derek.
Hey, Derek, I love your hair.
Thank you. So my question is, when you write your music, do you have a message in it?
Yes, actually. So that leads me to my new song, Epiphany, is all about not letting society or people or social media tell you how you should feel or what you should look like or what you should be saying to the world, just being yourself. And I had that epiphany of that realization of like, I'm just going to do me, and this is who I am.
It's a good song.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet.
I got a little bit of it. You want me to play it for you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Let me see if I got a little bit. I got a little bit for you. I'm prepared.
Oh, you are. I love this.
Is that you playing the guitar?
That is not me playing the guitar. That's my producer, Johnny Dibbs.
Shout out to Johnny Dibbs.
All these dreams I can't quit. All these voices in my head telling me that I should change, but I don't know any other way. When it feels like I'm climbing a mountain that just keeps on rising, when it feels like I'll never measure up at all. This is an epiphany. I'm gonna believe in me. Let go and fly, see where I land. This is an epiphany. I'm gonna believe in me. Take a stand. This is who I am. This is an epiphany. Whoa.
You sound awesome.
Thanks.
There's a little sample. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
She might sing the song for us. So.
Yeah, I will.
You have another question? Who else we have here?
Hello, my name is Angel.
Hey, Angel.
My question is, have you faced a lot of criticism on this journey? If so, how do you deal with it?
Yes. Yes. It's a really cool. So one of my mentors told me that when someone loves you, when someone hates you, there's someone that loves you just as much. And so that idea of like when someone hates you or is being mean to you, that there's someone else out there that loves you so much. And so you're doing something right if someone is throwing shade at you, because that means that you're doing something great, and not everyone's gonna love what you do as an artist or as a person, and you just gotta be, I have gotten down about, people not liking one of my songs. Luke Bryan, one of my songs was the most, like, the first time I feel like I had a lot of haters hating on me. And my advice to you would be like, just delete it. Don't respond to it, just delete it. And then they'd get annoyed if I deleted it. But you just delete it and know that, just throw love out there. And in all of my music, there's always a ray of hope. And I try to put love out there, and you have to just pray and feel bad for the people that are throwing hate out there, and just know that it just makes you stronger, though. So
you have to have thick skin.
Yeah, and talk about your feelings. If you do feel like down about it, like talk about it. Don't be afraid to like talk about it
or write about it.
Throw it into your music. Throw that hate into the music. And that's kind of the song Epiphany. How that came out it was like, I'm so sick of everyone telling me what they think. I'm just gonna do me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your question. Good question.
Hi, my name is Adrian, and my question to you is, for how long have you been making music?
So I've been making music. Well, there's a few ways I could answer that question. So I've been doing music since I was a little baby, dancing in my diapers. But I've been doing music, I'd say, from by the time I graduated. So my senior year of college, I released my first EP, which was in 2012. During that period of time, I've done music full time for 4 years, and during the last 6 years of that, I had to work a full-time job while I was doing music. So I would go to work from 7 to 7, and then on the weekends I'd go play shows. At lunch breaks I'd be working on booking shows, and at nights I'd be writing music. So it's kind of like a hard question. It's like, well, technically it's been, but then the first time I moved to Nashville was in 2010. So, I mean, I could say 10 years, I could say 5 years, I could say 4, I could say 6, but yeah, it's all over the place, I guess.
Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi, my name is Yandel, and I got a question. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, bagels. Bagels. I do
New
this.
York bagels?
Yeah, so if you guys, like, I had a bagel every single day. I lived in New York when I lived here. I love bagels. Mostly because I didn't have time to eat when I lived here, and they fill you up. But
they do fill you up.
There's nothing better than a New York bagel. And I do on my Instagram, if you guys aren't following me, I do a bagel review because people like loved it when I posted it as a joke. My sisters were like, "That's hilarious," and then I like continued to do it. So I did my bagel review this morning.
So what's your bagel place in New York that is a must?
Murray's Bagel would probably be my favorite.
Where's that?
It's in I think it's near like the West Village. It's on 7th in between. I can't remember the streets right now. In between, I don't know the cross street. I'm sorry, but it's on 7th. Murray's Bagel, and they're all over the city.
Anybody else?
That's a good question.
That's a good question though. You got me hungry. I'm a little hungry myself.
I know, me too. I could go for some pizza.
Hello, my name is Kadeem, and I have another question. What family member inspired you?
Probably my mom and my dad. My mom is, she does not give up. And she pushes me constantly every day to be the best Elizabeth Lyons I can be. And I think that without her, I don't know where I would be. She
Moms
constantly is pushing me to not give up. And when I'm down on myself, just making sure that she's like, remember all that you've accomplished and who you are, and that it's going to happen when it's supposed to. And then she's really great at marketing and kind of has that background. And my dad's a sales guy who worked at the same company for 30 years, started at the bottom and worked his way up. And, he's great. I mean, sales is a huge part of the music business, is selling yourself every day.
I tell them all the time.
I have business cards that I give out to people, whether I'm buying a bagel from you or I'm on the plane next to you or I'm sitting next to the subway and I give them my card. And, that you're constantly selling yourself in the music industry. And I think having that both marketing person and that sales person has really helped create the person I am today.
I remember one of my friends in the music business. I was getting business cards for, I think, my videography company. And I was like, I'm going to order 5,000. He was like, oh, that's a nice number. And he said, those cards should not last you more than 3 or 4 months. And I'm like, 5,000? He says, those cards should be on every car in the neighborhood. Every time you walk in, you should have a big pocket full of them. When you go on an event, you put 2 or 3 of them in the on the tables. He says, you just keep promoting because that's another party. Every time that you out there, you're gonna get something out of it. And that's what I do. I carry so many cards on me. I just put them all over the place.
I love it.
What's going on?
Hey.
Hi, my name is Byron, and I got a question. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Oh, geez. Oh, my goodness. Well, Michael Jordan, because Chicago Bulls, but he's not playing right now. But I used to wear his jersey all the time. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And I think it was like my first and second grade, the Bulls did really, really well. So Chicago was just alive.
Yeah, they all wear his sneakers still. That's why I see them and they're like, oh, the new Jordans are coming out. I'm like, you never even seen Jordan play. If it wasn't on YouTube, you didn't see him play.
Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite, Byron?
It's hard, right?
Harden?
It's very hard to pick.
Yeah, kind of.
I know. Well, I sang at my first NBA national anthem I did was at the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, Pelicans.
Which is really fun. And everyone's like so tall. I'm like,
it
was crazy.
Mine's a Larry Bird, just in case you wanted to ask me.
Thank you.
Oh,
that's the only Boston team I like.
Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
My name is Mariah.
Hey.
And my question is, how long have you been on this journey of pursuing your dreams? And have you ever felt defeated along the way?
I've been pursuing my dreams, I'd say probably for like almost 10 years, since 2010. Because when I moved down to Nashville, probably it's like the first time I was like, I'm going to do this, you know, which was I think in 2010 or 2011. And yes, I have felt defeated. And I think everyone does. I think that's just part of life and making you a stronger and better artist and songwriter in person. So
if everyone tells you yes, it's not good.
Yeah.
I said, because you're going to expect it all the time.
Exactly.
I even tell my daughters all the time. They're like, they ask me a question. The first thing that comes out of my mouth is no. And they're like, no. I'm like, yes, because one of these days you need to understand that word is very powerful.
It is.
It's 2 little letters, but it's very powerful.
It is.
Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you.
Well, I'm here again. My name is David.
Hey. I love it. Thanks.
I got another question. What was the most challenging moment in your life?
Oh my goodness. That's a good question. The most challenging moment in my life, probably.
I know it's not this.
Probably would be, there was a moment in life where I thought I had been pursuing music and I was questioning if I should still be pursuing music. And I was struggling, and I was like, you know, I was in my 20s, early 20s, and I was seeing a lot of my friends making a lot of money and having the data job. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I've been doing this for many years, and having that realization of like, no, I just need to keep doing this and not give up. And it's easy to get down on yourself, but you just have to believe in you every day and just not get down. And my new song called 24 that's coming out in January is all about that. It's all about being in your 20s and not knowing what's next in life and that unknown, but being just pure and strong and just going for it and knowing that your path is your path.
Take a leap of faith.
Exactly.
And also understand, you don't have to do everything for money.
No.
Sometimes happiness is worth way more than money.
Yes.
Because if you could go home and you have a sibling, you have a husband, you have somebody in your life, and you could go home and you're okay and you can manage on your bills, that's just as important as anything else.
Yeah.
Because people with money have the same problems we have.
Exactly. And having balance, like I used to work 24/7 and had like no balance in my life. Like I just worked. And I think now I have like the first time in my life, I don't know if it's about kind of being in 28 now that I'm like, I have a life outside of music, which is good, you know, and I because of that, I'm able to write probably better songs because of it. And so you do have to take care of yourself too and work out and drink like water and eat healthy and like get your sleep. Like sleep is the most important thing. Like get sleep and just taking care of yourself too is just really important.
It brings me to another question that I have here. Is just looking at me. I know that you're on social media a lot and it's really for business, but about how much time do you devote on a daily basis just to your social media or promoting yourself or stuff like that?
It's easy to get caught up in spending a lot of time on social media, but
But you're doing it for the right reason.
Yes.
You're doing it. You're not doing it to just check on your friends or to get a idea what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
You're trying to promote your business. So this is for a business.
I encourage you like to plan out kind of your posts. Like I think about on a Sunday night, because I'm so busy, like during the week, it's kind of hard for me. A whole day will go by and I won't have time to think about social media. So for me, what's worked is on Sunday night, I think about, okay, what do I have coming up this week? And what am I thinking about captions of what I'm going to say or what that messaging I want to be in terms of posts. So I kind of think about that in advance and kind of have that planned out. Like I have my posts planned out for the next month, right?
So like a social media Sunday?
Yeah. So like Sunday night, I just think of like in like a email or like on Excel, like Google spreadsheet, I'll just create, like I'll have like, you know, all the captions of what I think I'm going to say. And kind of doing it from like that kind of business standpoint. But in terms of like stories, I just do that as I feel like that's just a natural, like I'll just story whatever I think. Like if I'm eating a bagel or if I'm, you know, writing thank you notes to people or I'm emailing, like that just is more like the raw, you know, natural correspondence.
And all that is a hit and miss too. I mean, it's a learning curve. I know when we started doing the podcast, we were like, oh, we're going to put all the podcasts on Fridays.
Right.
And then we saw a little spike. And then I was like, you know what? What about putting it on Wednesday?
Yeah.
So that we can have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're still promoting the 3 days.
Exactly.
And then hopefully by the weekend, they told their friend or they told someone else. So when we switched that to Wednesday or Thursdays, it did spike even more because now we have people going, home from work and maybe let me put it on for a minute, and all of a sudden there's 30 more. I'll pick one up in the next day or something.
Exactly.
So someone that might just listen to one podcast now is listening to 4 podcasts because we put it at a different time of the week for them.
Like
so
seeing
that's
what
important.
people's reactions are is important, and
trial and error to make it better.
Yeah, and like insights on Instagram, like they'll tell you, like for me, like from noon to 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock is when people are the most engaged.
Gotcha.
Hey.
Another question?
Hi, my name is Edward, and my question is, what is your favorite NFL player?
Ooh, okay, so I went to Wisconsin-Madison, which has a lot of college football players that have played, and one of which I met and was like not great friends with, but like knew of him, was J.J. Watt.
Ooh,
so
good name to drop.
Yes, he is probably one of my favorite players.
He's on my fantasy football.
Really?
Tell him that he's doing well.
Okay, but my favorite like NFL team would be the Saints, the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, I love Breeze.
Yes,
Breeze plays
love
with
Drew Brees.
Breeze is a Boilermaker. Played in Purdue. I seen him play in college.
No way.
My friend that was his center. My friend was the one in Purdue with him, and he was the center. His name was Chuck Okobe. Shout out to Chuck Okobe. He ended up playing for the Steelers.
Wow.
So the Steelers is my favorite team, so I was
cool.
always there.
Yeah.
So I never met Breeze, but on the phone we've spoke all in groups and stuff like that. So he always seems to be a very nice guy.
Yeah, definitely.
He's also my quarterback in fantasy football.
Really?
Shout out to Drew Brees. Who we got? Go ahead, Edward.
Hey.
Hi, my name is Byron, and what's your favorite clothing brand?
Ooh, that's hard.
She's a lady. She has a whole bunch.
I have so many.
Even her own T-shirts too. So.
Yeah. I brought y'all some sunglasses and some CDs. I ran out. I sold out of all my T-shirts, but I'll be giving this to the best dancers and singers out there later. But but my favorite brands, I love Zara, Forever 21, Veronica Beard, Rag & Bone.
I didn't hear the Gap in this.
H&M.
H&M is good.
Yeah. Actually, I got some good. In my music video for Epiphany, I'm wearing Gap in my workout gear.
What's the one that you were on the? I just forgot the name of it. I know you were on the Jeep and you were on the with the sweater. I thought
Bronco Ralph Lauren. Yeah, I love Ralph Lauren.
So Ralph Lauren.
Actually, and Tommy Hilfiger dressed me for all my. So this is another thing that's cool is like figuring out a way to work with other brands. And Tommy Hilfiger dressed me all last summer for my tour. Really
I mean, they all like those nautical things, and you're always doing something by the beach or the water.
I am.
So
yeah,
that's a good person to link up with.
Yeah.
Anything else, Edward?
So, hello, my name is Kadeem.
Hey.
This is the last question. So, who is your favorite rapper?
Oh, so right now I'm really obsessed with Lil Nas X. Oh. Do y'all like him?
Lil Nas, yeah, they know that one.
I love Drake. I love Post Malone. Rappers are really amazing songwriters.
Would you ever collaborate with one?
Oh yeah, I was just so I wrote my first rap song on Sunday. I probably won't record it, but it is such a cool song.
If you drop it in the studio upstairs, we don't have to put your name on it. Somebody could take that.
Yeah. And actually in my Go Girl, I did a little bit of a rap at the end, but it was really, I was just having fun in the studio that day, and he ended up putting it at the end, and I was like, that's kind of cool. But who's your favorite rapper?
Scott.
Who
was it?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Oh, he's so good. So good. Do you want to be a rapper? No. What do you want to be? Do you know?
NBA player.
Oh, really? Wow.
You said NBA player?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Not saying nothing about your size.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
I always take Mr. Kadeem. I take him with me to when we do events. He's one of the kids that I count on to help me with the interviews.
Oh,
because he dresses up like in a little suit and everything, and he presents himself well. And we go up to someone. I want to ask you, why are you here today supporting the Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club?
Right.
And he puts the mic in front of them quick.
Oh,
and they're
I
like,
love
wow,
it.
this guy's ready for this.
That's awesome. That's good experience to get that, because as being an NBA player, you're going to be interviewed a lot.
Definitely.
So, and having that ability to see that side of the interview process, you'll be able to have more of an insight of and a respect for the people interviewing you. So
I definitely want to thank you so much for taking your
thank you.
time and coming here. These
I
kids
love
could
it.
just keep asking questions. They're adorable, and they want to know so much. They're like little sponges.
And I want to say, so my Uncle Manny was sitting just like you here. He was a member of the Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, which is one of the reasons why, I'm here today, is to support you guys. And he's amazing, and he attributes like all of his success to the Boys and Girls Club. He's created the heart valve and the pacemaker or something. I don't know all the like medical device stuff. That's not my wheelhouse, but he started, multiple billion-dollar companies.
So this is for you guys. You know when we're waiting downstairs, where you guys are waiting to get dismissed, that there's a glass and it says Manny on it, and people always asking, who's this? That's her uncle.
Yeah.
So he's the one that helped us and supported us and continues supporting us, supporting the Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club. And that's how we have our social rec area. And I believe in Randall, he was part of the pool.
Yep. He gave the pool. So he learned how to swim at the Boys and Girls Club and loved swimming. And they called him, I think when they were looking to redo the pool, and he was like, I'm just going to give the whole thing.
Nice.
And so
thank you.
Let it be an example that, he has achieved so much and is continuing to achieve so much. I think he's like in his 80s right now, and he's starting another company. I mean, he is so cool.
And it's always important to give back.
And he's always giving back. And he's always taught my cousins and I to give back. And so especially this time of year, always try to play fundraisers and give back in any way that I can.
Well, we definitely want to hear a couple of your songs, so we're gonna cut down on the podcast. But thank you very much, and you're always welcome at Kips Bay. The door's always open for you. If you want to just collaborate with somebody, want somebody to help you with a video shoot, or you need these kids for the background scene, we're available for you.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you guys
so
for all
much.
the questions. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
Thank you very much, Miss Lyons.